Everybody, today is September 7th, 2022. I'm Gene, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Hanging with Uncle. How's it going, everyone? Just kind of wanted to say hi. It's good to see you. And I'd like to start off with a question, especially for all my law enforcement friends out there. Have you ever done an investigation? And if you have, do you try and get as much information as possible, or do you just rely on one source? For example, let's just keep this simple. Say domestic violence, right? You go to the house and the wife says, "He hit me." And you just arrest him. You don't ask him any questions. You don't ask him if it's true. Is there only just one side to the story? And I ask that because some of my really good friends that I was in law enforcement with support the Republican Party. And they think that the information on other networks other than just right-wing media is BS. So put your investigative hat on. Are you just going to listen to one source because they tell you what you want to hear? Have you ever been lied to? I know I have as a cop. People lie all the time. That's why I try and get both sides of the story. So just a quick question. Just put a thought in your head. Are you really just going to listen to one side of the story, or are you going to put your investigative hat on and look at both sides of the story, investigate, and see who's lying and who's not? Just throwing that out there for food for thought, okay? Because the argument, well, I only look at one side because the other side is BS, so why bother? You're making yourself look stupid. You're making yourself biased. You're making yourself uninformed because you're only going to one source. And if that's the way you were a cop too, then you were probably the worst detective out there. But anyway, just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Today I kind of want to talk about the 14th Amendment. And I'll get back how this all ties into my earlier question in just a little bit. This is not a dig at any one person individually, just a broader sense to open your mind and think. Couey, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Couey Griffin, was a county official in New Mexico. He is a convicted rioter, or I don't know about rioter, but let's just say he was convicted for his participation on the attack, on the insurrection on the Capitol on January 6, 2021. So because of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, that anyone that participates in an insurrection against the government is ineligible to hold public office. And Mr. Griffin was removed by the judge in that jurisdiction. There are lots of people running for office. There are lots of people that are currently in office that participated in the attempted overthrow of a free and fair election of the people of the United States. All from people that just didn't like the outcome of the election. They're crybabies and can't accept the fact that the Tangerine Terror lost. Boo hoo. Boo fucking who. Get over it. So, also, as a result of this investigation, it was revealed that there's over 100 current law enforcement officers associated with the Oath Keepers. Now, these are people that have taken an oath, just like I did when I was sworn into law enforcement, to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, not try and overthrow it. And they violated their oath. So I hope that every police chief, sheriff, power that be, get this list and summarily fire all these officers that participated in any way in the attempted overthrow of the government, the sedition. That's just kind of like my opinion on that. Like Tina Peters in Colorado, the county clerk, I believe, in charge of overseeing elections. She's been indicted. I hope she never sits in office again as well. Guy running for a Secretary of State here in my state, in Arizona, Mark Fincham, was there on January 6th. I'm not voting for him. And I hope, well, I don't know how possible it is, but I just hope he loses, and I hope he's ineligible to ever run for office again. Just like Doug Mastriano, who's running for governor in Pennsylvania, who was also at the Capitol on January 6th. So these are just facts. You can't ignore them. You can't what about, because remember, yeah, but what about is just an attempt or tactic used to deflect from the real issue at hand. I'm not buying it. It doesn't fly around here. Especially that nonsense about what about Hunter Biden's laptop. I'll ask you, what about Hunter Biden's laptop? Number one, while the Tangerine Terror was still in office, he sent Giuliani to Ukraine to investigate it. So Republicans were in charge when this whole thing came up. Bill Barr was the Attorney General. You tell me why he was never arrested or investigated, because you Republicans have the authority and have the control. Look in the mirror when you start talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. And let me circle back now to my law enforcement friends who may not know this thing called the chain of evidence. How many years have they been talking about this laptop? How many different possible hands has it been? How many different times has it been the possibility to corrupt and tamper with the evidence? Because nobody's ever seen it. So to me, it's just another lie, just another talking point used to try and deflect and smear, and you can take that argument and stick it up your ass. So anyway, that's kind of all I have to say about this. Again, keep an open mind, look at everything, pull your head out of your ass, and don't just look at one source of information because it tells you what you want to hear. I'm Gene. That's all we have for today. Other than please hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up, the like button, and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when we put new content out there. Keep an open mind. I'm not bashing. I'm trying to tell you how to constructively think instead of being manipulated. Again, as a cop, I never just listened to one side of the story and made a decision based on that. So why would you do it with your politics? It makes no sense to me. We'll see. Zane and I will see you on Friday. Take care. Stay safe.